Alright guys, if you're just tuning in and you're new to our Soulfire Sunday, my name is Shawn Evans, this is Paulie O'Byrne. Paulie is founder of 1 in 5. I'm the host of the Sex and Suicide podcast. We usually do sort of a mental health segment on Sundays where we talk openly, but we also follow a 15-week cognitive behavioral therapy program. It's by Lucinda Bassett, and we'll attach the link to the bottom of this live feed if anybody is interested in taking that program. We had some trouble with the audio over the last couple of weeks, so I'm hoping that we have the fixed issue now. So hopefully the audio, you guys can hear us crystal clear. Our other mental health amigo, our power of 3, is Scott Milne. He's an IFBB pro, and he's sort of taking the program as well. He's running a little behind. He's got some issues going on. I guess we'll hear about it when he gets here.
All right.
So this week we're talking about we're on session 11 of the program. This is actually week 13, but we're going on session 11, and it's the truth about medication and alcohol. So the reason why we're doing this, first of all, in the summer, we kind of go over this pretty much every week now, but we're getting right into the thick of it. Contrary to what most people think, this is the time of year when suicide rates are at their highest. So we're trying to lower those the best we can.
Yeah.
Our theory is the fact that because high school and college students, university students are out for the summer, there isn't any support system for them really to go to. So we're trying to use social media to get people to kind of tune in and at least feel like they're not alone. A couple guys opening up.
Yeah.
Definitely, you're not alone here, and we're trying to make it known that you should not be afraid to speak out.
I can see that it's a tough time, because it's been like a month and a half-ish, 6 weeks since school's let out, and even longer for colleges, right?
Yeah.
They don't have that resource anymore, right? Like,
right.
They don't have the guidance counselor, and yet they are maybe like new kids going to college now, or like a month away from college for the first time, right? They might be getting anxious about that.
Yeah.
So I understand that right now is a really tough time, and like there's probably more. So I get that depression's really bad at Christmas time, but I totally understand that right now is
lots of change going on.
A lot of change, yeah.
Yeah, and how has your week been? Nice shirt, by the way.
Thanks, buddy. I got this sweet shirt.
Yeah.
From my good friend Shawn Evans.
Hey, I do what I can.
I forgot to bring you a rose this week.
You can do that next time. Do you want to, before we get going, Paulie has had some people reach out, and you go ahead and tell them what's going on here.
So I've just had some people reach out for a crisis line or crisis number because we are getting into this suicide season. I hate that we got to figure out a different like that there's a season for it. That just tells me that we still have work to do, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And so I've had a few people reach out, and I just wanted to. I have this card, and you can get it at any doctor's office. You can get it from any police officer. You can get it from any EMT. Okay. You can get it from any fireman or firewoman. And it's just the helplines for Ontario. So Connex, it's run actually out of London, Ontario, which is a really cool thing.
Very cool.
All the helplines come into a place, and they have highly trained professionals there that can get you through some crisis times. I've had to call it 1,000 times, I bet. Even in my sobriety, I've had to call it. Okay. So I just wanted to give this number out.
Yeah, go ahead. We can take a picture of this and post it at the bottom of the link for people. Yeah. I'll even post it right on the page. Yeah. But if you want to read it out, if anybody right now watching or anyone that does watch this is feeling like they need help or someone to talk to, here are your numbers. Yeah, at least for Ontario, right? Yeah. And if you're not in Ontario, all you have to do is Google suicide prevention or any mental health helpline. Yeah. And you should find a number that should come up. So please stop watching, and if you're feeling like that's something you need to do it. So, Paulie, here's the number.
Here's the number. So the drug and alcohol helpline, if you're struggling with drugs or alcohol, is 1-800-565-8603. If you're struggling with some mental health issues, it's 1-866-531-2600. And if you're struggling with gambling, there's a problem gambling helpline as well. It's 1-888-230-3505. And I love on the bottom here, it says the first place to start for help is these numbers. And that's definitely true, giving these numbers out to people could save their lives. Yeah. And that's kind of, absolutely. I'm sick of going to funerals, right? And if I can do this to maybe not go to a funeral, then this is what I'll do, right?
Right. So if you missed those numbers, again, we'll attach those to the bottom of the page. So this week, we'll get started, I guess.
Yeah.
We can go through my notes and know that yours are kind of missing. But
I forgot. I write them down.
Yeah.
And then I leave my book at home.
That's all right, man.
So I beat myself up because I wrote all this stuff down. I'm like,
I know. But it's okay, man. Life isn't perfect.
It's not perfect.
We know that. So,
it's like school. I'll just copy off you.
There
so
you
I
go.
got into college.
There you go. All right.
Yeah.
Good to know. Well, you can use my notes.
Thanks.
It's not copying if I let you have them.
Yeah, I understand. That's
We're all,
permission, right?
Permission.
That's permission.
Yeah. I guess it's still kind of, I don't know. Anyway, so let's get into medication and alcohol. We're going to focus on medication for self-medicating is drinking alcohol or drugs that aren't medicated. Other medication is typically something for anxiety or depression. We couldn't live without anti-anxiety medication in the medical business. We need a solution to calm people down enough to learn the necessary skills to beat the disorder on their own. So if you've been tuning in and watching some of the topics we've been talking about with mental health, some of the skills that you need to develop obviously take time.
Yeah.
It takes patience and it's repetition.
Right.
But sometimes if you're too anxious or too depressed, that can seem like a lot of work.
You betcha.
So it's okay, and I know we kind of rag on medication a lot here, but if you need it, it's okay. Like,
it's all right to use medication if that's what you need. Like, it's like people that have diabetes.
Yeah.
They need insulin or they'll die, right?
Sure.
And so some people with anxiety or depression, like, they need it.
Yeah.
You know, and I found a way for me personally to not use medication, right? And I just didn't find that it was doing the best thing for me when I was on. And I tried a whole bunch of different medications, and I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel happy or sad. Like, great that I wasn't depressed, but I wasn't happy. I couldn't find joy in anything.
Right.
And that's a side effect of medication, right? So
right.
It took a long time to like work in holistic kind of practices, right? Like,
right.
Do you take a pill or do you meditate? Right?
Yeah.
Some days I'm going to take that pill because I'm just not into it, right? And these days there's more, meditation, and I don't take medication, which I'm pretty proud of myself that I used to be on a handful of medication that I don't know what it was really doing, right? Right. I think the holistic way for me works.
The holistic way does?
Yeah.
So I guess what we're saying is if you can try to work through the skills, obviously taking an anti-anxiety medication or an antidepressant medication isn't the worst thing in the world as long as you realize that as soon as you go off that pill, nothing will have changed.
Right.
So you really need to work on your mindset, the way that you think, and controlling, not necessarily controlling your thoughts, but catching the negative thoughts when you're sort of beating yourself up or when your attitude's out of whack or when your expectations are too high, and making it more realistic.
That's like at the very end of this week, like that Lucinda at the very end said, it's all about your attitude.
Yeah, sure.
Like you get to choose your attitude, whether you're depressed or anxious or bipolar or schizophrenic or white, black, purple, turquoise, it doesn't matter. Everyone gets to choose their attitude, right?
Yeah.
You can have, I know paraplegics that have great attitudes.
Yeah,
they can't move a muscle in their body, and they're as happy as can be because of their attitude, right?
Well, I think that it's always important to remember that you can't have a feeling without a thought.
Right.
So use your emotions and your feelings as a signal of the way that you're thinking. If you're feeling shitty and anxious, what are you thinking? Or if that's what you're feeling, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
And maybe say, okay, why am I thinking that? And then try using the dialogue switch that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
So, medications can be a wonderful partnership with cognitive behavioral techniques, like we're doing. The problem comes when people think the pill solves the issue entirely.
Right.
People may think they'll just take a pill forever and they'll be fine. The problem with that is medication tends to be habituating, and the doses will need to be increased over time to achieve the same effect.
Right.
So it's just like anything, your tolerance can build up, and then you have to go back and readjust and readjust and readjust.
And if you have an addictive personality, you're going to be hooked on them. I know for me, I was hooked on my anti-anxiety, like the stuff to make me sleep.
Yeah.
I was hooked on them.
The pills, I was too, sleeping pills.
Couldn't get off them at all.
Yeah.
Until I overdosed.
Hard, man.
I overdosed on them and damn near died.
Really?
And that's how I finally got off them, was in a hospital medically withdrawing from them. Because it was not crazy. Seroquel, that's what I was on, Seroquel, and it...
Is that the one that we posted some recent articles about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's fucking deadly.
It's scary, But I mean, Seroquel really does help. It's like an antipsychotic
That's
as well.
the thing, right?
I can see how it helps that way. For me, I told my doctor a few times, like, hey, like, this is getting a little aggressive. Like, I have to take 2 now to get to sleep. And then I have to take 3, right?
Yeah.
And the day I overdosed on them, it took 80.
Wow.
Like, it took 80 and a 40 of Gibson's whiskey, and they found me with like 7 beats a minute for heart rate, and that's how medication doesn't work for me.
Right.
You know, I play that tape all the way through. I'm getting, emergency to the emergency room real quick. So I think for me, even though I struggle with sleep, I just try to do what I can when I'm awake.
Yeah.
I guess, right? Like
Sure.
if I wake up in the middle of the night, I might do some work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I might work on some 105 stuff, or I might even go for a walk, in the middle of the night. It's nice and
You're
quiet.
big on walks, yeah.
I love walking.
Sure.
And I think that, especially more so with this program, it's all about kind of, your body is all, you only get one of these things, right?
Take good care of it.
You better take good care of it. Exercise, I think, is really key. And if you're anxious and not exercising, then you're going to be anxious.
Yeah. Well, we know that the anxiety from previous episodes is adrenaline, is cortisone. These are stress hormones, basically. And you need a way to burn that off in a healthy way. It's just an overreactive fight or flight response that you have going on.
I'm not saying that I go and run a marathon.
No, you don't need
run
to.
at all. I just walk.
Yeah.
And I think because I have 2 legs, they're able to walk. That's what I'm going to do.
Right. And we talk about gratitude a lot.
Yeah.
So maybe go for a walk and start thinking about all the things that you're grateful for, because you can't have sort of fear-based thinking or anxiety-based thinking if you're feeling grateful.
Yeah.
It's just, you can't. They don't go hand in hand. So again, start trying to think about little things. That's one really quick way to snap yourself out of it. It's just think, okay, well, what am I grateful for in my life? And because it can always be worse.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always be worse. We're pretty lucky, man.
We're very, very, very fortunate. Yeah.
Like, just to be living where we live. Just have a roof over your head, food on the table. I mean, you're ahead of the game.
Yeah, for sure. Good friends.
Yeah, good friends, exactly.
Yeah.
Good support system, and you've got that here. Hopefully you know that by now. People with anxiety are often prone to self-medicate, whether with alcohol or other drugs. They tend to end up abusing the medications either way. Yeah. So you're a prime example of that, right?
And I'm an addict. I think I was born an addict. I think something traumatic had to happen to make that allergy kind of react.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think I've always been an alcoholic or at least
an addict.
Have an addictive personality with that stuff, and it didn't matter if it was like icing from a cake.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they gave me that shot of something, I was going to have all of that cake.
Right.
And I think when I was drinking, you know what I mean?
It's a good way to think about it.
I would get so amped up after the first beer because I think there's only 23 left.
Really?
Right?
Oh my God, yeah.
I'd have 1 beer and I'd be all amped up because there's only 23 left.
I don't know I don't think I ever had that thought specifically.
Never. Oh, I had that thought a lot.
I didn't even like to look at how many drinks were remaining. As soon as I had a case, like, okay, we're good until tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right?
I was always scared that I had a huge fear of running out of booze.
Really?
And I always would.
Yeah.
When you drink all the booze, you're gonna run out eventually.
That's such a shitty spot to be in.
It is such a shitty spot, and I think with the drink and the booze, and I didn't know that I had depression at that time, but alcohol is a depressant, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so adding a depressant while you're depressed didn't help out my mental wellness at all. It made me sicker.
No.
It made me make dumb decisions.
And the hangover the next day doesn't help any.
It's like hangover plus guilt and shame.
Plus guilt, shame, anxiety. What did I do? What did I say?
Embarrassment. You got to call your buddies and say ugh.
Right. So yeah, I mean, obviously, I think that we're all addicted to something. Mm-hmm. It's just important to get. Obviously, you don't want to. I don't know if addiction is the right thing, but some people will get addicted to exercise to an extreme.
Yeah.
Some people will get focused on their dieting to an extreme. It's all about just balance. Yeah. Balance. But if you're going to get addicted to something, get addicted to the good stuff.
Right.
Right? I mean, if you have that and you know that, it's better to be probably, in my opinion, for whatever it's worth, I think I'd rather be addicted to exercise than crystal meth. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. So it just depends on...
I agree with you totally. If that's what it is and I have to exercise, I get that it's about balance. But I'd much rather be